Welcome to Kermode Uncut. It's November and it's that time of year when people start to assemble their best of the year list. So I woke up this morning, I turned on the email, there was an email from a magazine that I write for saying, can you give us your 10 best films of the year? Which I can't do yet because there are still November and December to go, and often some of the best films of the year are released in the run-up to awards season. However, I'm starting to put together my thoughts for the annual end-of-the-year review that I do for the BBC News channel. We film it at the Cinema Museum and look back at all the films that are opened in the UK over the year. And I'm already thinking of my favourites. I mean, in terms of animation, there's things like My Life as a Courgette, which I loved, and The Red Turtle, which I enjoyed so much, and I recently did a screening of that at Belfast. There are films like Raw, which I thought was a terrific kind of horror, psychological thriller that really pushed the boundaries of the genre. There are films like In Between, which came out quite recently, that was a really, really interesting film. The Levelling, of course, Hope Dixon-Leach's long-awaited feature debut, which is such a wonderful piece of work. And then recently, I'm Not a Witch really impressed me. And then, of course, there are blockbusters like Blade Runner 2049, which you all know how I feel about that. So, I was thinking about those, and in past years when the programme's gone out on the news channel, inevitably somebody writes to me and says, well, why didn't you mention so-and-so? I think, oh, I left it out.
I know.
So, for the first time this year, I want to ask for your help. Not to know what you think are the best and worst movies of the year, but what's the thing that you saw this year that you really liked, that you think will have slipped under my radar, that when I'm doing my roundup of the year, I'm going to miss out on? What are the hidden gems? What are the films that really worked for you, that really sort of stayed with you, that you think of as the highlights of the year, that you think it's possible that I wouldn't be including in my roundup? The more esoteric, the more, you know, left of centre, the better. I mean, obviously, with the kind of blockbuster releases and everything, I think we're all pretty much covered. But tell me what you think is the thing that I'm going to miss out. And I promise you, I will try, I emphasise try, to include it in my end of the year roundup for BBC News Channel.
Why don't we take a picture together? Look at the camera.
Mona!
I'll send it to you.